Just one note could make me float away. One note from the song she wrote could fuck me where I lay. Just one note could make me choke, one note that's not a lie. Just one note could cut my throat, one note could make me die. I like pleasure spark with pain, and music is my aeroplane. It's my aeroplane. Somber, sweet, and sour Jane, and music is my aeroplane. It's my aeroplane. Pleasure spiked with pain. Just one note could make me float away. One note from the song she wrote could fuck me where I lay. Just one note could make me choke, one note that's not a lie. Just one note could cut my throat, one note could make me die. I like pleasure spark with pain, and music is my aeroplane. It's my aeroplane. Somber, sweet, and sour Jane, and music is my aeroplane. It's my aeroplane. Pleasure sparked with pain. One more time. I like pleasure spark with pain, and music is my aeroplane. It's my aeroplane. Songbird, sweet and sour Jane, and music is my aeroplane. It's my aeroplane. Pleasure spiked with pain. Welcome to another horrid episode of the apocalypse. Why did you choose it anyway? Since you have unwisely chosen the apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. And unfortunately for me, I happen to be that guide. Your humble guide, Nicholas. So good to see you again. It appears, the President of the United States of America is allowed to just accept a $400 million aircraft as if it were, I don't know, a spaghetti dinner. That's where we're at in America. I don't remember Obama doing that. I don't remember Mr. Biden doing that. Taking a $400 million gift from a foreign country. Personal gift. To be used by that specific person only. Let us begin. The New York Times, this is what I wake up to. Trump to accept a luxury 747 from Qatar for use as Air Force One. And let me just say something before we continue. Don't even try and argue in favor of this. You're just disingenuous, son. We can all see right through you. Whoever dares try and argue in favor of this, again, I must say, just picture Obama doing it. Just picture Biden doing it. Picture Kamala Harris doing it. Now ask yourself, is it okay if Kamala, Biden, or Obama, or George Bush Jr. accepted a $400 million plane, luxury airliner, for their personal use? Now, you guys wouldn't say nothing about that, right? You'd still be arguing in favor of it, right? Absolutely fucking not. Why? Because you believe in nothing, that's why. No one, and I mean no one on this planet, honestly thinks this is okay. And before you say it's just rumor, Donnie's already confirmed it. Of course, he waited till like 8:30 p.m. once he saw how the public reacted to him taking a $400 million plane from a foreign country to use as Air Force One. Once he saw every single human, even Laura Loomer was saying it was a bribe. 8:30 as he comes out with the big lie, which we'll get to. I want to give you like the flow of the day. This is how it started. This is Ron Filipowski on the situation with Russia. Apparently, Trump's fourth threat in 3 months to impose additional sanctions on Russia if they don't agree to a ceasefire is now off because Putin doesn't want to do that. 4 threats, 4 Putin rejections. Trump does nothing. I'll read you a little bit of it. This is a Donnie post on the Truth Social money laundering thing. President Putin of Russia doesn't want to have a ceasefire agreement with Ukraine, but rather wants to meet on Thursday in Turkey to negotiate a possible end to the bloodbath. That's in caps, the bloodbath part. Ukraine should agree to this immediately. That's in caps as well. At least they will be able to determine whether or not a deal is possible. Well, Zelensky's going to wait in Turkey for Putin. My guess is he doesn't show up. Just a guess. Because Putin isn't interested in peace or a deal. He's interested in annexing Ukraine and eliminating their culture from the planet. He's doing what Hitler did, kidnapping children, re-education camps, all that great stuff. So I'm not buying the threats against Putin either. He keeps doing this, and every time Putin escalates just to show who's boss. So again, Ron's pointing out 4 times he's tried to do this, threaten Putin into a peace deal, threaten both sides into a peace deal. It only makes it worse. And Donnie really is all about these peace deals. He wants peace made. Why? Because he wants the Nobel Peace Prize. That's simple. That's why all these statements, lies, all of it. So one fat, orange-faced guy in a diaper can get a Nobel Peace Prize. So Donald Trump, this is Rick Wilson, who's been reinstated on Twitter. Praise Jesus. So Donald Trump is accepting a jet as a bribe. But if you look at the interior photos of it, you know why he really wants it. It looks like a flying whorehouse. It looks like Liberace and Saddam's decorator got together and did an airplane interior. I didn't see the interior. I'll take Ron at his word. Donnie does like gaudy, overdone things. He's bought a lot of Home Depot wood trim and different things and spray painted it gold for the White House. I don't know if you've noticed. I don't know if you've ever been inside Trump Taj Mahal when it was a thing. I was inside of it many times. Gaudy as fuck. That's Donnie shitbags. So this, emperor plane, that's probably trimmed in gold or God knows what it has on it. Of course Donnie would love a gaudy monstrosity such as that. That's Donnie's style. But according to Rick Wilson, Liberace and Saddam Hussein's decorator got together and did an airplane interior. So you can imagine what that's like. Liberace tended to go overboard with the gaudy and the stuff. Saddam was a brutal dictator. So I think you can get a good kind of grasp on what it looks like and who, it would appeal to. This is Dana Bash on CNN talking to Howard Nutlick. Dana says the costs of tariffs are paid by American consumers. Nutlick jumps on in. I disagree with that. And then Bash says, well, okay, most economists disagree with you on that, and we have seen it passed off time and time again to the American consumer. Indeed, what business eats costs? Do you know of one? I don't know of any. If their costs go up, they charge you more. It's that fucking simple. A fucking baby could figure this out if they weren't, blinded by the brainwashing, like some of you are. When costs go up for any reason, that's going to get passed on to the consumer eventually. You know that, right? A lot of you didn't. Because I see a lot of rubes out there putting out comments like, why does this product I'm buying cost $70 more or $200 more? Well, that's their Messiah who they voted for or who they talk up online as a great thing. He did that all by himself. And Nutlick's trying to, again, invert reality. Everyone on the planet knows when a business's cost goes up, that gets passed on to you. We've watched this thing called inflation, I call a scam, on the poor, where a house, again, was $40,000 in the late 70s or early 70s. Now that same house is $500,000, maybe more. I'm sorry, that's not natural. That's not economic science. That's a fucking scam that's been pulled on us. I had an apartment in the early 90s that cost $575 per month. I know that sounds foreign, right? That sounds unbelievable. How could there have been a world like that? Imagine what that same apartment cost in the late 70s, probably $300, $250 a month. There is a scam being pulled on us. And we give it a name, so that's okay. It's not okay to me. It's still a fucking scam. And now we're at the point where people can barely survive. And again, that 2-bedroom house in an okay neighborhood, $40,000 in, early 70s. Now, again, $500,000. Is it worth $500,000? Absolutely fucking not. It's the same piece of shit 2-bedroom house in an okay neighborhood. Why did the cost go up 900%? That's a scam, son. And it's being pulled on all of us. And they call it inflation. So Nutlick, again, is inverting reality, acting if, I disagree, tariffs aren't paid by the consumer. Yes, they are. Literally. Always. Every time. And that's why our ports are empty. And that's why truck drivers are losing their jobs. That's why port workers are going to lose their jobs. And, the cascading effect into the actual industry after the port, after the delivery guy, the place it gets to, that's now making no money because they can't sell anything because everything went up 300% because of Donnie. And you got Nutlick out here again, once again, just fucking lying about it, inverting reality as if it's not happening because he's fine. He's got the inside track every time Donnie pulls his little stock market manipulation by getting rid of the tariffs out of nowhere. Nutlick knows about it in advance, I'm sure. He's making huge money on all this. As how many people lose everything. Anyway, let me move on. This is a quote from the Constitution. No person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without consent of the Congress, accept any present, emolument, office, or title of any kind whatever from any king, prince, or foreign state. That's from the U.S. Constitution. So Donnie wasn't allowed to take the plane. It's illegal. But let's not waste too much time talking about the Constitution, because to Donnie, he was breaking all kind of emoluments clauses the entire 4 years last time, and no one did jack shit. So he's really going to go overboard doing it this time because he's never leaving. I hate to break it to you. He's not leaving in 4 years. So when they try and convince you that the use of this plane is temporary, only for a couple more years till Donnie's gone, he's not going to be gone, son. So even that's a lie. So yeah, according to the Constitution, it's illegal to take a gift of this sort, or any gift, without the consent of Congress. I think if it's below a certain money or above a certain money amount, Congress has to step in and decide. I think most people understand why that is. It should be called the Donnie Shitbags rule. He's the nightmare our founders envisioned. The cult of personality guy that's utterly unqualified and uses the presidency to straight up grift and to become a dictatorship. Anyway, let me move on. Just curious, once all the illegals are gone, what are they going to do with all these ICE agents they added? Class? I thought this was an excellent question. You know why? Because this is someone who's looking forward to the next step. I like that. So class, what do you think's going to happen when they have all these extra ICE people, 20,000 extra, and the ones they already have, once they clear out all these pesky illegals? What are they going to be used for? What do you think they're going to be used for? For you. That's what they'll be used for. Just in case you were wondering. Excellent question, though. I dig where the person's going with it. Because that's what's going to happen. Questions for the cult. Are you okay with Qatar gifting Trump a $500 million jumbo jet? Before you answer, ask yourself how you would feel if this was Obama or Biden. You don't have to answer, Mr. or Mrs. Trump supporter. We all know the answer to that question. If Biden or Obama did it, you would want them hung. In fact, you wanted people hung just for Biden winning the election. So we all know you're hypocrites. We all know you believe in nothing. Otherwise, you would never vote for Donnie Shitbags because he believes in nothing but the grift. He just grifted a $500 million plane, and the accoutrement to change it, to bring it up to code, to be used as Air Force One, your money's going to pay for that, son. Do you feel stupid yet? You should. So yeah, just ask yourself the question, and we all know what the answer would be. If the black guy did it or Biden did it, oh my God, you people would lose your fucking minds. And you know it. But Donnie does it. That's just a $500 million jet. I mean, he's the president. Why can't they just give it to him? He's got an R next to his name. He's down with Jesus and stuff, right, Rubes? Are you down with Jesus? If you voted for Donnie Shitbags, you're not down with Jesus at all whatsoever. You never knew him. So again, just pretend everything Donnie does or says. Ask yourself, what if Obama said that? What if Biden said that? What if Obama took that $500 million plane? What if Biden took that $500 million plane? What would I be saying then? If I'm saying something different about Donnie than I would have said about Biden or Obama, I'm a hypocrite who believes in nothing. That's how you figure it out. You don't even have to tell anyone. You can have the whole conversation in your head. Trump administration will accept a luxury jet from Qatar to use as Air Force One. So there's the verification via an article that he's going to accept it, but Donnie verifies it himself. Don't worry. Unearthed records show that AG Pam Bondi, who authorized Trump's luxury plane gift from Qatar, was previously a lobbyist for Qatar, receiving over $100,000 monthly. I love the fact that we have a former lobbyist for a foreign country as head of the Department of Justice. Isn't that great? Doesn't that make you feel all safe and warm? Yeah, I wouldn't want anyone that was a lobbyist for a foreign country anywhere near that fucking job. Are you fucking kidding me? I didn't know this about Miss Bondi. Now I do, because it was all over the fucking internet today. So Miss Bondi, Law and fucking Order for the Reich, was an ex-lobbyist for fucking Qatar recently, and all of a sudden Donnie's getting a $500 million plane from, guess where? Qatar. Totally normal, right? Not crooked at all. Do you realize that you've put your name on, or have your name on, the most crooked motherfucker that ever lived? He will be the ruin of your future, your children's future, this country, everything, and it's too late to go back now. So I'm not warning you, I'm telling you. Former lobbyist for Qatar, Miss Law and Order. Donnie walks away with a $500 million luxury airliner from Qatar. And you're going to tell people that's okay at the water cooler, right? I'm sure you will. Ron Filipowski again, disgusting, naked, open, blatant corruption. Indeed, that's what I warned everyone about. I warned the oligarchy about in my videos. Before the election, I said, do you want naked, in-your-face, blatant corruption? Because that's what you're about to get if you vote for this. Here we go. Whether it's crypto, Trump media, stock, real estate developments, licensing deals, or jets, foreign governments continue to buy our presidency by bribing our criminal president. Yep. What do you think the crypto's for? So he can take foreign bribes and no one knows what's going on. What do you think the plane's for? You think they just gave it to him because they love Donnie so much? No, he's the president of the United States. He can do a lot of things for Qatar, can he? And I'm sure some promises were made for it, although Donnie will try and convince you otherwise later. Don't worry. The child that got caught with his hand in the cookie jar again. The Trump Organization recently announced a new project in Qatar. That means there are 20 open or in progress Trump-branded projects in foreign countries, posing staggering possibilities for serious conflicts of interest. Yes, Donnie has seen the presidency as a grift this entire time, the first time and now. And Donnie wants to make some real estate deals here. He wants to relive the old glory days of Atlantic City when he owned 3 casinos. He was the king of AC, all that. So he's going to do it in Gaza, in Vietnam, in Qatar, blah, blah, blah. And guess what? They're all probably, giving him something in exchange for that. And it's appearing more and more he may have made a deal with the Muslims to get Gaza himself. And may have cut Netanyahu out of this little plan. We'll get to that, though. But this is horrid. This is utter conflict of interest. And please don't compare Obama and Biden to this. They didn't have fucking trade deals as well as, resorts going up in country after country that could influence their decision making. You know it. Nothing even close to this. 20 different foreign ventures. We know about the Gaza one, the Vietnam one, the Qatar one now. All of a sudden they give him a plane. Miss Bondi, former lobbyist. It just gets uglier and uglier, man. President Trump is poised to accept a luxury jet as a gift from Qatar. It's to be used as Air Force One and then transferred to the Trump Library by 2029. Perhaps the biggest foreign gift ever. DOJ insists it's legal, not bribery, not violation of emoluments clause. No one's buying that, by the way. That's just straight up, again, inversion of reality. Of course it's a violation. They gave it to Donnie. They didn't give it to anyone else. Despite what they'll tell you. We know who's going to be on that motherfucker. Here's again, Laura Loomer, Donnie's side piece. Even Laura Loomer, the side piece of the Antichrist, is talking shit. Big shit. Surprising. I love President Trump. I would take a bullet for him, but I have to call a spade a spade. We cannot accept a $400 million gift from jihadists in suits. Uh-oh, she's getting uppity again. The Qataris fund the same Iranian proxies in Hamas and Hezbollah who have murdered U.S. service members, the same proxies that have worked with the Mexican cartels to get jihadists across our border. This is really going to be such a stain on the admin if this is true. And I say that as someone who would take a bullet for Trump. I'm so disappointed. Who knew that Laura Loomer would make sense? Oh my God. She's fucking spot on here. I got to give it to her. I can't disagree with any of this. And I can't stand Laura Loomer. But she's right. And again, if she's not even gonna, talk you up online and defend this, who will but the bots? That's all you got left, really, right? I mean, who can say with a straight face, oh, yeah, this isn't a bribe. It's going to the Department of Defense and blah, blah. Yeah, right, right. Sure, son. Sure. Something's happening between Israel and Donnie. Bibi and Donnie, they've been best friends this whole time. I've been telling you that. They're about to start a joint venture of bombing Iran, clearing out the Gazans, building a resort, and a temple. I've been telling you this every day. But now something's happened. And I'm quite stunned by it, actually. And we'll get more deeper into it as I go, but this is the beginning. Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, said that Israel is refusing to end the war in Gaza and holding up hostage negotiations. We want the detainees returned, but Israel doesn't want to end the war. Again, Donnie's on this peace kick. Vlad's not being cooperative. Netanyahu's not being cooperative. India and Pakistan weren't being cooperative. Donnie wants that Nobel Peace Prize. That's what all this is about. But it seems he's also made a deal with the Muslims. I'm not sure what it is fully yet, but it's becoming more apparent of the rift between Israel and Donnie, which, again, I didn't expect that rift to come for a few years until some things were built. And he didn't need them anymore. But he could always go straight to the Muslims and make a deal with them. It appears he may have done that. So maybe he's going to turn on the Jews a lot faster than I thought. Maybe he's going to turn on Netanyahu and Israel a lot faster than I thought. I don't know. I'm a little stunned by all this right here. I was not expecting this. So Donnie's pissed Netanyahu won't end the war. Netanyahu's pissed about Donnie stopping the bombings of the Houthis. And there's more things that Donnie's pulling out of as we go through this. Oh, here's Donnie's happy Mother's Day wish. Only the Antichrist could, on every holiday, say nasty and mean and horrible things in a post for millions to read. Again, as President of the United States, who's supposed to have on holidays just a certain decorum, happy Mother's Day, blah, 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 simple, easy. It's a slam dunk when you're a politician to just on the holidays, put a little celebratory message, not insult half the world in your message. You know what I mean? Happy Mother's Day to all, including racist, vicious, highly partisan, politically motivated. All those first letters are capitalized for some reason. And very unfair radical left Democrat judges, those first letters are capitalized. Prosecutors, district attorneys, and attorney generals, those first letters are all capitalized. Whatever. Who campaign unrelentingly against you without knowing a thing and endlessly promise to take you down. After years of persecution, even the fake news says there is no case, or at best, it would be very hard to bring. Someday soon, they will start fighting record-setting violent crime. I love you all. That almost sounds like a threat. He can either be saying, maybe they'll focus on violent crime soon, or they're going to have to focus on it because I'm going to create it. He might be saying both things. He is a mobster. He knows how to say these things in a certain way. That's the one thing he is good at. Doing the mob thing, which doesn't take brains, really. It just takes a willingness to be evil. So that's his Mother's Day message. Real coherent, a well-adjusted individual. President of the United States. Did I mention that? Can't just say Happy Mother's Day. Blah, blah, fucking blah. Can't do it. I love my wife. Happy Mother's Day to her. The typical politician thing. No? Okay. The two planes used as Air Force One are purpose-built military aircraft with specialized capabilities. Well, yeah. including security, communication, and medical. Well, yeah, it's for the president, the most powerful man in the world. It better have some extra fucking features. Um, any use of this Bribe-Plane, I love that phrase. I didn't make it up. This person did. Any use of this Bribe-Plane by a sitting president would be egregiously irresponsible and compromise national security. Yeah, wouldn't you be worried as president? Well, maybe it ain't built right. I could die in this thing that way. Or they could have surveillance on me that they put inside of this thing as I'm flying back and forth. And they're hearing, the president of the United States business. Security. What about that, Donnie? I don't care. I like the plane. I'll have the FBI do a sweep. Well, there's bugs you can't sweep for anymore. We're that advanced now. And God knows how deeply in they could be built. And I wouldn't blame the Qataris for trying. It's a nice little Trojan horse, isn't it? It could be. I don't know. He's the president. He's the one that should be worried about that, by the way, not me. It's his life. It's the information he wants to keep hidden from everyone. Shouldn't he be worried about it? No, I like the plane. It's gorgeous. I want it. I'm Caesar. I run the world. I can have the plane. That's Donnie. He ain't thinking of security. Ain't thinking of nothing. He just likes it. And yes, it's a bribe plane. That's how I'm going to think of it from now on. Bribe plane. Hamas says it will release its last American hostage, Eden Alexander. Would be set free came just days before President Trump was expected to visit. Again, Trump's got a visit coming up. He wants some victories before he gets there, and he wants that Nobel. I'm telling you. He's willing to fuck people over like Bibi Netanyahu to get that Nobel, too. He wants a deal made. He wants his name on it. Desperate. The White House has negotiated the release of Israeli-American prisoner Eden Alexander with Hamas without informing Israel. Israeli officials are upset that they were left out of the loop. Well, yeah, they got people there, too. It was their fight, their war. Why are they being left out of the negotiation? I was stunned when I read this. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Donnie turning on them already? Because he turns on everybody. I just thought it would happen later because he still needs them, but he could still have them do what he wants them to do. He can still allow them to build a certain thing under his watch. So it's looking like Donnie's going right to the Muslims and saying, maybe we can make a deal. Give me the plane, resort. You guys technically own Gaza right now, even though it's ash. Maybe I can just make a deal with you. Then I get my deal. Then I get my peace. All that. Maybe I get my Nobel, too. I get my resort. I get my temple. Something's going on with this. But I knew he'd turn on the Jews. I knew he would turn on Israel. I've been saying it since he won re-election. I told you he's going to turn on everyone. Israel says unilateral recognition of Palestinian state, son. Did you hear me? Will force unilateral actions in response. Wouldn't it be crazy if out of nowhere, amidst this turmoil, all of a sudden, Donnie makes it happen that Palestine is a state? I didn't see that coming either. Although this has been talked about over the years, this isn't something new, but no one's had the balls to do it, to make it happen. So it sounds like Israel, the reason these headlines come out, that means Israel already heard about the plan. Do you understand that? That's why these quick statements come out from the different governments. So what it appears to me, again, it appears that they know Donnie made some kind of deal with the Muslims. And they're reacting to it, and they're letting us know about it in their own way. They're pretending like, oh, well, we don't know about it yet, but if they do this, this is our response. So one more time, let's say Donnie's going to take us down this path where he's going to try and make a Palestinian state happen. Now you got Netanyahu saying, yeah, we're not going to let that happen. We're going to take unilateral actions. We're going to go to war with Israel? If there's American troops in Gaza doing a resort or whatever, and Donnie has made a deal with the Muslims, is Israel going to attack America? This is a real conundrum for everyone, isn't it? It's a real reversal if Donnie continues down this course, and I didn't see it coming. I saw it coming later on down the line. This is very strange to me. So they're saying, Israel's saying, yeah, we're not going to let Palestine become it. That's not the direction we want to go. The direction we're going is clear out the Gazans. We take over. We're going to build your bitch ass little resort. And then, you and us, Israel will own Gaza. That's where Bibi wants to go. Donnie's starting to go the other way without Bibi. That's why these statements back and forth are coming out. Hamas is reportedly engaged in negotiations with Trump administration over a potential ceasefire and humanitarian aid agreement. Well, Donnie's the reason no aid's been getting in for a while. He told Bibi, do what you want. Remember how many times Donnie said that? They need to finish it. Israel can do whatever it wants to do. He said that many times in many different ways. Now we're at the point where he's going to the Muslims and trying to make us humanitarian food and aid agreement and ceasefire agreement with them. No Bibi involved? How the fuck did we get here? Again, this is catching me off guard. I wasn't expecting this until much later. I expected him to ignore the Muslims completely because Vlad has them under control. He finances a lot of those Muslim groups. So one more time, all of a sudden, Donnie's possibly talking about a Palestinian state with these people. A ceasefire, humanitarian agreement. Again, Donnie wants that Nobel, man. He really wants it, and he's showing me with all these actions. He's willing to go to any party, make a fucking deal, and give me credit for it, damn it. I'm trying to get the Nobel Peace Prize here. That's where this is coming from, in my opinion. And he's willing to fuck Bibi over for that Nobel. That's how sick this motherfucker is. It's insane. Trump's ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, stated that Israel's military option against Iran will remain even if we reach an agreement with Tehran. In other words, Israel again and Bibi are saying, even if you're not going to bomb Iran with us, we're still going to go ahead. So Bibi's saying on every front, we're still going ahead with whatever plan we had. We don't care what your plans are. And you're fucking us over. So now word through the grapevine, is that we're not going to take part in the attack on Iran now. And there's more evidence for that as we go through it here. The game is changing severely. I didn't see this coming. Israel's Channel 13 reports that figures in Prime Minister Netanyahu's inner circle have sharply criticized the Trump administration in recent weeks. There's chaos in the Trump administration. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing, said a senior figure close to the premier. So they wanted this statement out. They leaked it on purpose, or gave the statement on purpose. And I guarantee Netanyahu's saying that because Netanyahu and Donnie had a plan. The resort, clear out the Gazans, bomb Iran together, the whole thing. Now Donnie's going the complete opposite way. Palestinian state. I'm making a deal directly with Hamas. I'm going to be the deal maker, the peacemaker. My name's going to be on it. I don't need you anymore. I'm not going to bomb Iran with you. And again, we're going to see more evidence of that. We'll get to it. So that's why they're saying the right hand doesn't know what the left is doing, because they just flip-flopped on the whole position. And it doesn't seem like Bibi saw it coming either. This doesn't seem orchestrated. It seems deeper than that. There's too many statements back and forth. Will they, kiss and make up at some point? Very possible. Could be tomorrow. Could be next week. Could be a month from now. Who knows? Very possible. If Bob Menendez can get 11 years in prison for accepting gold bars from Egypt, Trump can get 11 years in prison for accepting a Boeing jumbo jet from fucking Qatar, of course. I was just talking about Bob Menendez yesterday, was it? Or the day before? When I made my point. How you know you're not in a cult? A lot of people probably call me liberal or whatever. I'm nothing, but you would probably say I lean more liberal. So that means I'm supposed to defend all Democrats no matter what they do, right? Because that's what you do with Donnie and your Republican favorites. No, when Bob Menendez got busted, you know what I thought, honestly? I thought most of the Democratic Party has no major scandals, but this cunt had to be the one that takes some payment from a foreign government, like all the Republicans are doing. Almost every single one of them is taking Russian money and getting some kind of kickback in some way. Democrats didn't have any major scandals like that. Then comes along Bob fucking Menendez. So what it really did is it pissed me off, because it lends credence to, oh, both sides are the same. No, they're not. I used to say that same shit. Then I sat back, or then I watched for 20 years as one party became more and more Russian son by the day. And now we have a Russian asset named Donny Krasnov in charge of America, about to liquidate it. So yeah, if you guys can get mad about Bob Menendez and we can call him a criminal and he took money or gold bars from Turkey, where whatever he did, and he gets 11 years. Well, what does Donnie get for taking a jumbo jet? Nothing. That's cool. Gold bars bad. Jumbo jet good, right, Roops? But anyway, my point was, when Bob got busted, he lost his trial in court. He got his sentence. I wasn't out here saying it's fake news. Bob's an innocent man because he's a Democrat. He can't be wrong because he's a Democrat. No. I said, let it go. He's a criminal. Let it go. Take him away. With Donnie, crime after crime, and you people can't say that. That's how I know, that's why we know you're in a cult. He's a convicted felon, for fuck's sake, and you voted for him. That's how we know you're in a cult. So one more time, if Bob can get 11 for some gold bars, probably didn't equal $500 million, by the way. Donnie should get 11 for taking a plane. Just a thought. This was fascinating and beautiful. And it was quite moving, actually. I wasn't expecting it to be. They had a drone show in Rio de Janeiro, where that wonderful Jesus statue is. Now, even though you're not supposed to make icons to God, none whatsoever, even that Jesus statue is technically wrong, it was still quite moving, actually seeing it. So what it was, they created a Mother Mary with the drones right in front of facing the Jesus statue, as if the two of them are standing there. I almost cried. That's what the Mother Mary looks like. And you can see a little bit of the statue. Gorgeous. Although, again, Mary is not a deity in the story. The Catholic Church has taken the Mary thing a bit too far, in my opinion. And again, you're not supposed to make any icons to God. No idols, nothing. That's the real rules. So people shouldn't be walking around with crosses and all that stuff. But you're not going to hell for it. Don't worry. Don't worry. You have good intentions. I know. Some of you. So even though all that, I know all that, watching it, watching the Mary cast the glow on Jesus, and what they did after they created the Mary, they had her hands open up and this heart comes out and goes onto the Jesus statue or like right against it. It was quite moving, I must say. I wasn't expecting it to be, and I just started watching it, and I was like, I didn't even know the statue was there for the first bit of it, and then I realized, oh, it's right in front of the statue. I believe it's called the Christ the Redeemer statue or something. Very moving. I wasn't expecting it to be again. You should watch it. I posted it in the post section, but I post so many times a day, you'll have to scroll back to find it. It's on the internet. Maybe if you just did a search, Rio de Janeiro Mother Mary drone show, it might come up. It's worth a watch. In Trump's America, kids can't have more than 2 dolls, but the president can accept a $400 million ultra-luxury jet from Qatar's royal family just weeks after the Trump organization signed a deal to build a luxury golf resort there. Yeah, this ain't just a little bit over the top, son. This just ain't a little bit of bribing. This ain't bribing behind closed doors. This is straight up bribery, grifting, and profiting off the presidency right in your motherfucking face. What president ever took a $400 million plane from a foreign government? When have you seen this before? Oh, never. Because even Nixon wasn't this bold. And he's the crookedest motherfucker since Donnie Shitbags came along. I mean, think about that. Even Nixon wasn't this bold. And he was a straight up crook. Again, there's no arguing this. There's no arguing in favor of the president getting a real estate deal and then getting a $400 million plane from a foreign government and keeping it. These governments could offer whatever they want, but the president has to be like, yeah, I can't accept a $400 million jumbo jet. That'll look kind of, untoward, wouldn't it? Yeah, it does. And no one's fooled. It's a straight up bribe from a foreign government to the tune, some say 400 million, some say 500 million, $500 million. This ain't no $100,000 kickback, son. This is more money than you could dream of making in 8 lifetimes for you. But yeah, American kids, no 250 pencils, no 30 dolls. But for Donnie, $400 million jet and a luxury golf resort, and more resorts to come. One in the Holy Land in Gaza, one in Vietnam, and about 17 other places across the world. Just straight up using the presidency as a grift. That's what we call that, son. Last week, Trump announces he's building a $5.5 billion golf resort in Qatar. $5.5 billion, you say? Okay. Today, Qatar announces it's giving Trump a $400 million private jet. The American presidency is literally for sale to the highest bidder. Yeah, that's what the crypto's for. That's what the $5 million Donnie card's for. That's what everything's for. Donnie's grifting here. That's why you're losing your business. That's why you're losing your job. That's why you're losing your farm. Donnie's grifting here. You wanted him to be your messiah, so he's taking everything. I don't know what to tell you. It's too late to go back. There's no going back. Happy Mother's Day from the Trumps. From the golf course grave.
What does this situation remind you of, the people that have been around a long time? Him burying the mother of his children on a golf course and giving that grave very little attendance, very little decoration, just a placard, actually. What does this remind you of?
Because it reminds me of a certain rock star's grave. I mean, like exactly the same. And we're going to get another look at that, don't worry. Can girls have 30 dolls if they're a gift from Qatar? Indeed. If Donnie can take a $400 million plane, can girls have dolls from foreign countries if they want to give them? Is that okay? I mean, my God. Here's Laura Loomer again, talking shit. Getting uppity. Not only will the President of the United States be flying around on a $400 million jet paid for by Qatar, but don't forget our own U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi. She called her Pam Blondie. Uh-oh. A little hair color rivalry. You know, Loomer's dark hair. She had blonde hair too before. I've seen some pictures. And then Bondi's the blonde, so a little rivalry and shit. Calling her Pam Blondie. Uh-oh. Cat fight. Was once a registered foreign lobbyist on behalf of Qatar. Even Loomer saying it. Uh-oh. Bondi was compensated $115,000 per month by Qatar, and now she's head of the justice system in his country. Qatar has given over $1.8 billion to Hamas over the years. That's an incredible amount of influence for Qatar, a country that harbors Islamic terrorists, to have with our most senior officials, especially given the fact that Islam is completely incompatible with Western civilization and the Judeo-Christian values in our U.S. Constitution. Holy fucking shit. Loomer going off about this. That just makes it 10 times more shady that Bondi, or excuse me, Pam Blondie, was an agent of Qatar, represented them. And now she's head of our justice system. And Donnie took a plane from the same place, and he's building a resort there. Ugh, I mean, it just stinks of corruption. And it's obvious corruption. It's not something you have to go digging for, is it? That's why Donnie waited till 8:30 to put his post about it out. He wanted to see the little child that got the new toy given to him. And Donnie loves when people give him things, by the way. When he doesn't have to pay for it, oh my God. That's what he lives for. So again, the little child wanted the plane. He saw how the world, called it what it is. Even Loomer's calling it what it is. A straight up fucking bribe from a foreign government. So then the child has to put the lie out and try and justify the fact that he's taking a straight up $400 million bribe in the form of a jumbo jet luxury liner from Qatar. The little boy tries to make it okay. We'll get there. Here's a meme someone made of Donnie, and it's quite frightening, actually, but, why not? Creep-y. Fucking creepy, man. Trump thanked Qatar and Egypt for helping secure the release of Eden Alexander. There was no mention of Israel. Again, Donnie going right to the Muslims, walks away with a $400 million plane. And then Miss Bondi says it's perfectly legal. Or excuse me, Miss Blondie says it's perfectly legal to accept it. We should all just go about our day. No mention of Israel. Uh-oh. I told you, he turns on everyone. BB, everyone thought everyone thinks they have a leash on the beast. This is the beast, again, not a beast. Everyone thinks they have a leash on him, and by everyone I mean Vlad Putin, Leon Scum, Bibi Netanyahu. None of them do. He's proving it. The greatest surprise will be if he ever turns on Vlad, which I expect him to. Now, this really reminds me of the other grave that we used to talk about. Remember that? Now I'm really getting that rockstar grave vibe. So funny they do such similar things, isn't it? And remember when Donnie got attacked, the assassination attempt, 2 days later there was one of the rock star's family got attacked. Remember that? And then look at the grave sites. Remember the rock star's grave? Look at this grave. Are you getting some familiar vibes? You're getting a little bit of deja vu? I am. And it's amazing how they're so similar. The rock star's family and this family. It's fascinating to me. It's also fascinating their fascination of South Africans. The rock star's family and this family. Netanyahu, I think we will have to detox from United States security assistance. Did you hear what this man just said? They were our staunchest ally forever in the Middle East. Donnie was literally the dude's best friend as far as political ally. We've been all about helping them, giving them whatever they want. Donnie's been saying, do whatever you want to the Gazans. I don't give a fuck. Just do it. Donnie's been talking about owning Gaza. We're going to own it. We see the Trump resort thing about to go up. Jared Kushner's back in the picture. Everything seems hunky-dory for the Israelis and Donnie and their little plan. Now we're at the point where Netanyahu is saying, I think we will have to detox from United States security assistance? Holy fuck, what happened? What changed? Is Donnie turning on the Jews? Is Donnie turning on Netanyahu? This isn't one little statement. This has been a back and forth all day. And every time Israel says, yeah, we're not down with Palestinian statehood, we're not on board with that, and we will continue our own agenda. And we'll continue our own agenda with Iran as well, no matter if you're part of it. Now we got Bibi again saying we might have to go on without United States help, security. What does he mean by security assistance? Money, weapons, that shit. What is going on? I am baffled by this. I was not expecting this so soon. And knowing Donnie, he'll probably be back in their good graces by next week, tomorrow, next month or something, and this will all be forgotten. But maybe it won't. And maybe this is him turning on them. Because I'm seeing about 8, 9 statements back and forth all day. And it's getting worse and worse and worse, and there's more. Right here. All 6 US B-2 stealth bombers have departed Diego Garcia Air Base in the Indian Ocean and returned to the United States. Here's the good part. The move suggests a US military strike on Iran is now highly unlikely. I told you, the Diego Garcia deployment of all the bombers and different planes they were bringing to the Middle East, that was for Iran, not the Houthis. They kind of led us to believe it was just for the Houthis at first. But they were going to bomb Iran along with the side of Israel, with their help.
That was the real reason for the bombers. Now the bombers have been sent home. That's the real evidence, the physical evidence that Donnie is not going along with Bibi's plan. That person that wrote this second line here. The move suggests a U.S. military strike on Iran is now highly unlikely. Yes. Why all of a sudden? Donnie was all about that. Donnie was all about him and Bibi taking over Gaza and doing that whole thing. What is he doing? Now the planes have gone home. Now you know why you saw Bibi up there saying we might have to go forward without security assistance from America. Why? Because the planes went home. What the fuck is going on here? I shouldn't be surprised, though, because, again, Donnie throws everyone under the bus. I've watched it happen a million times. His closest people to him. So I know he's going to throw Netanyahu and those people under the bus at some point. It's a Reich complete with Nazi salutes, so I know what they really believe, no matter how much they pretend to be friends of the Jews. Is Donnie about to show us what the Reich's really about? Because it sounds like he's done a total reversal away from Netanyahu and including him in the whole thing. And it sounds like he went right to the Muslims and said, you know what, we don't need Netanyahu to achieve our goals. Or maybe the Middle East just gave him more money. Could be that simple. So he's going to ally with them. But again, this equipment has left. That's the evidence, the physical evidence of all those different statements back and forth between Israel and America, that the agenda has changed. And there's going to be different players. And there's going to be some really mad Israelis over that. Where the fuck is this going to go now? I don't even know. Are we going to end up fighting a war against Israel? I don't know. Okay, so here's Donnie's explanation for taking the plane, the Bribe-Plane. And look, you'll notice the time down in the corner, 8:42 p.m. So Donnie waited all day after he took his toy, after he got his hand caught in the cookie jar, after we all talked about it out here. Even Laura Loomer, even people that are very close to him were saying, yeah, Donnie, that's a bribe and it looks horrible and it makes everything that liberals say about us look true. What are you going to do about it? Oh, and you're taking it from people that fund terrorists as well, Donnie. That's what Laura said, not me saying it. And then there's other people saying, yeah, what about the security aspects? What if there's spying equipment on that plane? So here's Donnie's attempt at justifying taking a $400 million bribe in front of all of our fucking faces. Are you ready? So the fact that the Defense Department is getting a gift, that's in all caps, free of charge, that's in all caps. No, it's not free of charge. Donnie had promised something, I guarantee it. Or they expect something in the future. That's how mobbery works. So it's not free of charge, son. It's free for him. It's not free for us. Of a 747 aircraft to replace the 40-year-old Air Force One. Let me tell you something about the 40-year-old Air Force One. I'd rather fly on that plane than any plane in the world. You know why? Because they are maintaining that plane every second of every day. Because it's for the most powerful man on the planet. And they don't want the most powerful man on the planet going down in a plane crash. So even though that plane's 40 years old or however old it is, believe me, it's being maintained like a motherfucker. It might as well be new. It's newer than a lot of the planes you fly on. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because the airline ain't doing the kind of maintenance they're doing on Air Force One, son. I hope you don't think they are. So I'd rather fly on that 40-year-old plane than any other plane in the world, because I know it's being maintained down to every last speck of dust off the motherfucker. So I don't care how old it is, that's a fucking cop-out. They could have built a new one in that time frame, I guarantee it. They just didn't want to. And there is a new one being built. It's just taking a long time. But that's still no excuse to take a $400 million gift from a foreign government. It's not going to anyone else but Donnie Shitbags. He's the one using it. Let's continue. The 40-year-old Air Force One temporarily, he's going to use the plane, he says, in a very public and transparent transaction. What do you mean transaction? They just gave it to you. It's a bribe. There's no transaction. So bothers the crooked Democrats that they insist we pay top dollar for the plane. Anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. The Dems are world-class losers, MAGA. So what did you just hear? You heard a little child pissed that he got caught stealing something and that you pointed it out. You're a loser. That's where the President of the United States takes it. Anyone can pay for it. I got him to just give it to me as a bribe. I didn't have to pay for it. You guys want me to pay for a plane. You're losers. So again, this is the child's response to the entire world saying, yo, the president just took a fucking straight up bribe from Qatar, where he's building a resort, and his head of justice in this country is a former lobbyist for a foreign fucking country. And they trying to make that okay. And he's like a little child. This is how you know he's not an adult mentally. Getting a gift free of charge. Donnie knows he did wrong. You know how I know Donnie knows he did wrong, people? Because he waited till 8:40 p.m. to post about it. After he heard all of us out here saying, yo, the president just took a bribe, right in front of all of our faces. He got madder and madder throughout the day. Like, why can't they just let me keep it? Like a child who stole something and his parents say, yeah, you got to give that back, son. You can't keep it. Otherwise, that makes you a thief. It's wrong. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Give it back. A kid, you don't know, a kid don't know yet. He's got to be taught. That's Donnie Shitbags. You can't keep the plane you stole, Donnie. You have to give it back. You're a loser. That's where we're at, son. That's what you put your name on. A guy who's going to try and convince you that him getting a $400 million plane for free from a foreign government isn't shady, isn't a bribe, as he sits in the president chair. That's amazing to me that you put your name on that. U.S. President Trump opposes Netanyahu's planned full-scale military occupation of Gaza, with the operation set to begin in the coming weeks. What did you say? Donnie went from, I don't give a fuck, here's whatever weapons you want, go kill whoever you want, I don't give a fuck, to this? Now Donnie's not in favor of the operation. The full occupation of Gaza. You know why? Because Donnie's probably going to occupy Gaza with American troops. It looks like Bibi may be getting cut out. What's he going to do? Go to war with America? No. He can't win that fight. It looks like the Jews and Israel and Bibi may have just been cut out of the deal here. And it looks like we may have American troops there and a deal may have been made to make that happen. Donnie also could have told the Muslims, let the Jews build the temple in exchange for me owning your land and not them. Look what's being said here. Obviously, the stage is being set to stop Netanyahu from occupying Gaza fully. Again, this is the guy that said, do whatever you want. Here's whatever weapons you want. Best friend. What the fuck is going on here? Here's the plane in question. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Donnie wants it. It's his new toy, and you can't have it back. And we are on the last slide, if you will. Again, it keeps escalating. Each statement I read to you, it's escalating further and further. Israel has threatened to respond with unilateral actions. Following reports that President Trump and other world leaders may move to recognize Palestinian statehood. The Israelis have heard all these things. Do you understand what I'm telling you? That's why these statements are being put out. Someone communicated to the Israelis, we're not bombing Iran with you. We're not going to let you occupy Gaza. And we're going to try and get a Palestinian state going. Again, we have a total reversal here. Donnie, one more time, for the millionth time, was the guy that gave Israel whatever weapons they want, said, do whatever you want. I don't care. They got to finish it. I don't give a fuck about the Palestinians. Now we're at Palestinian state territory from that place where Donnie was before. The Israelis are hearing it. They wouldn't be saying this otherwise. The planes have gone home from Diego Garcia. I'm concerned about this. I don't know what to think of it. And none of it's good, whether he completed his agenda with the Jews in tow or with the Muslims in tow. None of it's good. And I'm rather stunned by this reversal at this point. I expected a reversal a few years from now. After that temple gets built, after he doesn't need these people anymore. It sounds to me like he's going around them now. Sounds like to me, from the fact the planes have left Diego Garcia, sounds to me like that because of what Israel is saying and what Donnie's people are saying. Donnie gets the plane from Qatar today. Then the complete reversal. Again, Donnie could complete his agenda using the Muslims instead of the Jews. And he could side with them because, again, this is a Nazi Reich. And I don't have to convince you of that. Leon did the Nazi salute. Donnie had the copy of Hitler's speeches next to his bed. Donnie's all about it too, believe me. So although he plays friend to the Jews and the Christians, he is no friend to the Jews and Christians. He hates them the most, whether you realize that or not. So is he now making a deal with the Muslims where he's going to, occupy Gaza himself? Maybe they said, okay, no problem. Because what Donnie's going to give them, and by them, I mean not the peasants at the bottom, the people at the top of the Palestinian movement, the ones that reap the rewards and never get put in harm's way. Donnie may have offered them something really great. Who knows what it could be? He could have simply said, I'll keep the Israelis off your back. I'll get them out of your territory. Any promise, any amount of money could have been exchanged. Who fucking knows? All I know is this doesn't look like theater to me. I could be wrong. Tomorrow they could be best friends again. I don't know. But these, again, like 10, 15 different statements back and forth all day tells me the agenda has really changed. This isn't theater. And the planes have gone home that were going to be used to bomb Iran. And from what I'm seeing today, it looks like Donnie made a deal with the Muslims and cut the Israelis and the Jews right out of everything. But again, it's what I and others have been trying to warn so many people about regarding Donnie Shipeggs, that there's always another person in line after he throws someone under the bus. And it's always the most trusted person, the best person, the most loyal person. Then they're under the bus. Then there's someone waiting there in line to take their place. What I've been saying for 10 years, you people watch this man throw every single human around him under the bus, and then you line up to be the next one it gets done to. You all think you'll be the special one that Donnie doesn't turn on. That doesn't exist. There is no special one, except maybe Ivanka, and I think he's even talked shit on her sometimes. There is no special one, son. You're all finding it out the hardest of ways. Those of you who have lost everything because of this cretin you put your name on. None of you matter to him. And Bibi Netanyahu doesn't matter to him either. And none of you have a leash on this beast. I've been saying that forever. So many people think they got a leash on him. I'm sure Thale, Musk, Netanyahu, Vlad, others. None of them do. I said before he got elected, once he has the keys, once he has the thing that's most coveted, the most powerful military on earth, where you could take any country, anything, it's over. And he doesn't need anyone anymore. His constituency, the Rubes at the bottom, the Jews, Israel, Vlad, he doesn't need anyone. Why? Because he's got the biggest stick on planet Earth to hit people with. Now it's too late. Now it's looking like he's turning on Israel already, but maybe they'll cozy back up to each other. But it looks real bad, and it looks like the plan is completely changed, and I'm utterly shocked by it. I wasn't expecting this so quickly. This a beast, though. So he's going to go wherever the wind blows for him, what piques his interest the most. And it appears the Muslims have piqued his interest, and he made a deal with them, and Netanyahu's out. I mean, Netanyahu even said we might have to, detox from getting help from America. That's insane. Anyway, basically today what happened is the president took a $400 million jumbo jet as a bribe from a foreign country, and he turned on the Israelis. And at 8:40 at night on Mother's Day, Donnie came on social media and tried to explain to you that it's just a free plane. Why can't I keep it? That's what you put your name on. That's why our country's going to fall. That's why the world's going to fall. For that asshole who just got a free $400 million plane. And he's spending his time as president explaining to you and I why he should keep his new toy that was given to him by a foreign government, which is straight up illegal, according to the Constitution. But let me guess how many of you will continue to invert reality and try to explain to your coworker, your friend, on your podcast, whatever the fuck you got going, why it's okay for Donnie to get a $400 million plane from Qatar. But again, always remember, what if Obama did it? What if Biden did it? that'll snap you right back into reality. And then maybe you'll be honest with yourself and others, but I doubt it. You're too far gone. Anyway, until the next episode, have a wonderful evening.